What else can I say? That's how to lose a match. Standing ovation for the guy that lost. That was Aaron Quadri taking on the world champion. Quadri, when we're watching that match, I could see in your eyes, you're saying to yourself, I can't beat this guy. What went wrong?
I think in the first set, he had a lot of difficulties with my service. But in the second set, I also committed a lot of services error. Some of my services were going half long. And the Chinese are very intelligent, very fast. They think very easy. And once the services are going half long, they can initiate attack easily. And the second set went very easy for him. And in the third set, his advisor, I mean the coach, did a great work. He was putting almost all the ball, short for me, of which in the first set, he gave some chances to me to attack. And after the second set, I was not getting myself composed because almost all the balls were coming short. But after I also found a solution, of which it was a little bit very late. I found a solution of receiving some of his service long, and after I can control the attacking from him, because it was not that easy to play on the table with him. He's more intelligent and more faster. He can play more forehand and more backhand than me. But my only skill has always been forehand. I'm not so strong in backhand. And after that, I was able to win the fifth set. Then in the last set, some of my forehands, normally in the first 3 matches I played, it was 85% always to the table. And in the last set against Zanjike, I lost a lot of forehand due to the fact that I was in a hurry to win some of easy point. And when you have some easy point, you shouldn't think it's very easy point. You have to take a moment before you initiate attack. And because of that, I lost some of the key points.
I'll get you talking again, but President, let me bring you in. You mentioned something about Zanjike's coach and the way they turned it around, tactics. What are we doing to develop our coaches so that they can train and retrain stars as these?
Well, it's the same thing. It's the same thing you do for the players, you need to do for the coaches, exposure. We need to get our coaches out there working, with the national team, working abroad. And we've got a lot of young coaches now coming through. Hopefully, I think it's also very important that we're working with our old players, the players coming to the end of their career, people who have been exposed, the Torolas of this world, Oshanaikes, Bose Kafo, get them into coaching, bringing the younger ones up as well. The national coaches are doing their best. For a long time, they didn't get the needed exposure, but we're working on that as well, because as you rightly said, the coaches need to have the knowledge to give to the players. Like to compete against Zanjike, one thing we miss out, Zanjike is the Olympic champion as well. Current Olympic champion, current world champion. A quick thinker on the table, very fast. But Haruna has the best forehand in world tennis, table tennis at this time. So we have to work on our own strengths, and that's the strength of the Nigerian game, the forehand. So our coaches need to work closely with this. But I think we're on the right track now.
I totally agree with you. We're getting comments on Twitter. We want you to keep them coming, not just Twitter, keep them coming on Facebook also. Olalekan Kazim says 30th in the world. This is a massive achievement for a Nigerian and an African too. I pray this continues with other Aaron Quadris that we will produce. And that's what we actually will. This marks the highest ranking ever for an African table tennis player, which shows the rise of the continent in professional table tennis. And let me bring you in. When you look at Nigeria and how it started with table tennis, and then we dropped, and then Egypt and likes took over. Now you're the best in Africa. How can we turn things around?
I think about 6 years ago, things were not going well with the Nigerian Table Tennis Federation. The sponsors are not coming in, and because of that, we lost our glory to the Egyptians. And not only the Egyptians, some of the Northern African countries are as strong as the Egypt. But presently, since the new board members came in, things are now working well. We are now having opportunities to feature in tournament regularly. And when you are playing tournament regularly, it doesn't mean if you lose or win, but most important that is you are gaining more confidence. And when you have more confidence, your capacity to win some great matches in the world, it's possible. Nothing is impossible. So I think everything now, until this moment, it's because we are playing tournament regularly.
I totally agree with you. Let's underline that word, because they are playing tournaments regularly. And that's why I'll bring you in, President. Aruna Quadri, best in Africa, best of course in Nigeria. We also saw the rise of Ojuona Olakpo at the Commonwealth Games. What are the things you're doing so that the next time I bring you here, you have a lady sitting down here?
Now that's the critical part. The women's game is not as strong as the men's game. It's never been. I mean, hasn't been for a long time. But we need to go back to the schools. Right now, our number one player, Eden Offiong, is playing in Portugal, which is one of the things we need. We need our top players playing regularly abroad, and she's there now. So we're very hopeful she'll be ready for the All-African Games. Offiong is a top tournament player as well. Cecilia Otu is still there. Vivian. You know, it's the younger players that really excite me now. Esther, she's captain of the team. In 2 weeks' time, they go to the World Junior Championships in China. She'll be leading that team. Very, very strong young player. And Limota, we've got them, 10, 12 of them. But we have to go through the same process now. Tournaments, coaching, hard work. Importantly for the players, you need what thing Haruna has: discipline. Yeah. Humility, discipline, focus. Our players across all the sports, we need that. It's something Keshi talks about as well. You need to be disciplined to play against the best in the world.
I totally agree with you. So that's the world. We're trying to also see that the ladies rise in Nigerian table tennis, and then the president of the Nigerian Table Tennis Federation, Waheed Enitoro, says discipline is important, humility. You see, it goes beyond the skills. Personal character also counts when achieving success. Let's go on a quick break now. I'll come back. We'll take a quick look on how Novak Djokovic continues his fine form. It's not table tennis, but it's tennis. Continues his fine form at the ATP World Tour Finals. I'll come back. We'll wrap this up. Stay with us. Flawless Djokovic right there, defeating Stanislas Wawrinka 6-3, 6-0 at the ATP World Tour Finals at the O2 Arena in London. It looks good to end this year as world number one. Just to let you know, quick fixtures today. Kai Nishikori will take on Milos Raonic. Raonic needs to win that game, and then Roger Federer will go against Britain and Murray. That's another cracker. How about no tennis today on the show? We want to talk about table tennis. That's one sport that has given Nigeria some credibility, some popularity back in the days. The country dropped. There was a decline, but now the rise is coming back because the best table tennis player in Africa is a Nigerian. Aruna Quadri is still with us. Quadri, tell me, what are the lessons you've gotten from this year's experience?
I've gotten some important lessons. Some of the lessons is that when you have some opportunities, you have to work harder in order to have more and more better opportunities, of which I've been doing since the beginning of the year. Another lesson I've learned is that whenever I'm in tournament, I have to consult some of the best players in the world in order to know how they are practicing, what's some of their practices look like, and the physical fitness. And immediately I did that in German Open. I was able to improve a little bit in my game, which makes me to qualify for round of 16 in Spanish Open. And since then I've been playing very, very well. So it means if I'm in tournament, it doesn't mean I have to play all the time. Sometimes I have to consult some of the best players in order to be doing something that is right and correct in order to improve.
I totally
so these are some of the lessons.
Totally agree with you. President, quickly, and let's wrap this up. We're seeing Aruna Quadri. There's Ojuona Olakpo on the rise. It was good to also see Kazim Makonjola show promise at a team league. How can we sustain this momentum?
Well, it's more tournaments, more practice, hard work, getting it into areas where we weren't going before. All the zones in Nigeria we need to play table tennis everywhere. But for us, we're on the year next month. We have the actual Yoruba tournament this month, and then we're on with the President's Cup next month. That's the top 16 players in Nigeria throughout the last 18 months challenging themselves, and they're fighting for places, because that's where some of the players going on the Pro Tour will come from. The winners of the President's League onto the Pro Tour. I'm very confident. Come back a year from now, God willing, we'll be talking about more players.
Okay, that's what we want. Thank you so much, Aaron Akwadri, for coming on the program.
You're welcome, sir.
And please stay focused. President, your fire also, I'll give you a salute. So that's it. That's our show today on sports this morning. Table tennis has given us reasons to talk sports. Aaron Akwadri is Africa's best table tennis player. Why don't it all show is the president of Nigeria Table Tennis Federation. They're putting all the work together to ensure that table tennis shines again in this country. And that is what we want. That's the message. So every other federations out there, Nigeria is not just a football country. We have talent in other sports, boxing, name it, cricket, and athletics. Let's give attention to this sport and it will shine again. That's it. That's where the final whistle goes off on this edition of Sports This Morning on Channels Television. We're getting loads of messages for Aaron Akwadri. Thank you so much for the love. We'll read it. On our next program, we'll come on again, Sports Tonight, and then tomorrow, Sports This Morning, on behalf of the ever dedicated sports team at Channels Television Sports Center in Lagos, Nigeria. My name is Austin Okonakpan. The president says it's not just about skills, it's about discipline and also humility. If you do that, success will be achieved. And as you do so, remember, let's keep talking sports. Bye for now.